You ever want to get back to your roots? That's what we're going to do today. We're going to get back to my roots, so don't go away. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fat Guy Productions. I am Paul, coming to you, as always, from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And indeed, I want to get back to the simpler builds. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. There just comes a time where you kind of get overwhelmed by everything, okay? And through the holidays, as much as I love Christmas and stuff, I'm glad to be over it, and I kind of just need to catch my breath. So today's video is going to be a simpler car, a simple little casting. You've seen it before on other channels. I haven't tackled one yet, so I'm going to do it today. Let's get to work. So as I've been transitioning from one computer to the next and changing software, I've had some issues, and I lost some footage on this build. But we're doing a Turbofire, and fortunately, we're going to pick up right at the goo drop. As always, prior to this point, all I did was take a look at the car and then took it apart by using shielded drilling to drill out the rivets, get the car apart, and of course drop it into the stripper. So while that's sitting there soaking and gooing, we can take a look at the interior and glass. They just friction fit together. You can just kind of pop them apart. The glass is good and solid. It's going to need a polishing for sure, but that's really all it's going to need. I don't need to replace it. The interiors on these cars, generally speaking, are never bad because they're protected by the body. So I'm not expecting any issues there. So maybe just a good cleaning sometimes, especially if you get a kid paint that had open side windows. You can get paint in there and stuff, but all of that can be fixed. So let's pay attention to this glass with my magical, beloved product, Flitz Polish. Now, Flitz does more than just polish metal. It will polish plastic, and it works fantastic on these glass pieces. Now, this one is not so bad. It doesn't need any sanding. All it's going to need is polishing, and I'll probably take it for a swim in the gauzy. Now, as much as I talk about Flitz and their products, you might think I'm just a big old corporate shill, and that's not the case. While Flitz has sent me some polish in the past, it was long after I found Flitz on my own and had started telling you all about it. So I tell you about Flitz because it's a wonderful product and I love it. And that's the only reason I share it with you. So after the Flitz on a cotton swab, I can go ahead and take and buff this out just by rubbing it out on a really nice, clean microfiber cloth. And this thing is going to be wonderfully shiny. And if that's where you want to end it, you certainly can, and you're going to have great results. But you can always take it one step further, right? So what exactly is that one step? Well, of course, it's gauzy. Gauzy is a wonder material, okay? You dip your glass in there and it comes out so clear and so shiny. It takes it from looking plasticky to looking like a beautiful clear glass. So I really, really do love it. Now, a lot of guys use the Pledge Floor Shine, and that works good. Gauzy works better. So after the bath and gauzy, I wick off the excess, and then I'll just drop it into my onion saver to sit and dry. Now this casting wasn't in the worst shape in the world. You can see the bottom, it's a little bit tarnished. It's going to be a perfect candidate for dropping in to the lime away and water mix. This is just 50% lime away and 50% water, and we'll drop it in for a few minutes and let it just kind of remove some of the tarnish. So the base is looking pretty good. It's not perfect, but now what's going to happen is when I take it out and wash it, I can brush it out with a brass bristle brush, and then I can polish it with the Flitz, and it's going to look amazing. So let's say you don't have Flitz. After the lime away bath, the brass bristle brush will probably be enough to give you great results. Okay, seriously, and it's just, $1 at the Harbor Freight, so it's really easy to do. But if you want to take the extra step and get an even better looking base, in this case, Flitz is the answer. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some Flitz all over the base, and I'm going to use a polishing wheel on my rotary tool to shine this all up. Now you might be thinking to yourself, well, why not use that when I polish the windshield? Don't do it, okay? You're going to ruin your windshield, okay? The Flitz and the polishing wheel and the rotary tool, they generate a lot of heat. You will burn and destroy your windshield. Don't do it. It's not worth the risk, okay? That is a learned thing that you have got to practice at, and you sure don't want to practice it here on an important piece. So just polish the windshield by hand. But on the base, a rotary tool and a buffing wheel, it's a little bit of Flitz smeared all over the place, and you're a business. So after the polishing wheel, I'll use a paper towel to initially buff this out, get most of the excess Flitz off. Then I'll switch over to a nice microfiber towel, and I'll really get this thing buffed out and bring out that shine. And look at this base. Dare I say, better than original? I'm going to say it. I don't know if it's true or not, but in my opinion, it looks that good. It's funny how so many techniques from one hobby to the next can cross over, like the Flitz from coin ringing and the way it polishes diecast, and now the Renaissance wax, the way it will protect the shine of these unfinished metal pieces on the diecast cars. And hey, I started using Renaissance wax in coin rings. So, yeah, you may be into diecast cars, but it sure wouldn't hurt you to watch the coin ring videos. They're entertaining, and you might pick up something that you can use in your other hobbies. So, don't just be so one way, okay? Watch all my videos. Watch all my videos. Here's a great idea. New Year's resolution. Watch all my videos. Give them all thumbs up and make comments on all of them. That's what I think you should be doing, okay? Seriously, I think you should. So let's check into the warm liquid goo phase and see how the Turbofire body is doing. Now I'm going to tell you, straight up Spectraflame diecast Hot Wheels, they really, maybe a half an hour in the warm liquid goo phase, and the paint is going to be off, okay? You don't got to wait long. Some castings, though, not necessarily these, but some like with opaque paints and stuff, maybe, they can be stubborn and take a little while, especially like the new Hot Wheels. Sometimes, especially the ones with big, thick tampos on it, they can be a bear to get the stuff off. So indeed, the paint was just slurming right off, so I ran off and washed off the body, and I'm back, and I gotta tell you, I am cranked, okay? This body is so shiny and so beautiful. It is going to paint up wonderfully. Look at this little thing gleam, man. It is wonderful. So shiny, and you can see the little facets in the metal that really react to make this thing sparkle. It's going to look fantastic. That notwithstanding, it's getting some flits. I can't resist. Okay, I'm going to polish this sucker up and try and make it just crazily, beautifully sparkly. Now I'm at a crossroads here and I have to make a decision. As I'm polishing this, I am noticing some little spots in the metal that are probably going to show up underneath the Spectraflame paint. I could go zinc coat this. There's other things I could do here. But really, I got to be honest. This thing is so beautiful. And frankly, diecast cars, they weren't perfect, okay? You buy a Hot Wheel, you take it out of the blister pack, it looks great, it's all shiny, it's sparkly, the paint's not chipped or anything like that, but if you look, you can see toning or discoloration or anomalies, and, you know, that's what I'm faced with here. These are original anomalies that were in this body, and if they don't polish out, I'm just going to leave them. I am not going to mess with this because it is too beautiful. I'm going to do the best I can with it, shine it up as nice as it can get, and then paint it and call it a day. And, hey, if that's the wrong move, that's the wrong move, but that's what I'm going to do. So, I'm done with the Flitz. The car is gleaming like a brand new penny. It's beautiful. There is a little bit of, I don't know if you could call it an anomaly in the metal or if you want to call it toning or whatever. There's a little bit of it in one of the sides there, but I'm leaving it. It's not going to polish out, and the only way to fix that would be to take and zinc plate the entire car, and I think that will kill this fabulous finish, and I'm just not going to do that. So instead, I'm going to go to the paint booth. So I did a lot of polishing on this, and so there's going to be residual flits all over the place, so I have to clean this off really, really well using a little isopropyl alcohol. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to take some time to think about what color I want to paint this car. Now, it came in kind of a bluish color, but the body is so spectacular, I don't want to cover that up. I want to accentuate it, so I think I'm going to go with something lighter. So I have decided I'm going to go with Spectraflame Green Apple. I'm going to apply it very lightly and keep it so that it will really bring out the sparkle of this casting, and just it should come out amazing. At least that's my hope. So Green Apple it is. Let's go ahead and get this paint laid down. So I want to go easy here because I really want the sparkle of the body to show through. So I'm going to go with my tack coats and then medium coats and wet coats, but I'm going to go very gingerly and very few on the medium coats, and the wet coat will probably be one wet coat, okay? I really want this car to sparkle and have that total Spectraflame look. So we'll get the tack coat down and then we'll move on. So this paint job got to where I want it very, very quickly, and it was a good thing I was going slow, because if I had not been paying attention, I quickly could have overshot what I was looking for. And while this is Green Apple, it really is coming out sort of, it feels antifreeze to me a little bit. But I've always had a hard time differentiating between like the yellow and the green apple and the antifreeze. They all kind of end up feeling the same to me a little bit. I'm sure there's differences, and real hardcore collectors can tell what they are, but you know, it all kind of blends in for me. But at the end of the day, I'm really happy with what we've got here. Okay, so the wheels are crapola, and it was weird because there was a large wheel on the rear and a large wheel on the opposite side in the front, and then on the other side it was just the opposite. So you had a large one in the rear and in the front, and then you had a large one on the rear and in the front. I guess that's what I said. Do that twice. It was weird. Okay? Anyhow, the wheels are crapola, cutting them off, and then we'll replace them with some brand new shoes from Bright Vision. So I like to kind of pre-straighten out the axles before putting the new wheels on. So I'll kind of do that a little bit, get them right where I feel they need to be. Then I'll get the wheels on, give them a final straighten. And you already know. Okay, you already know I'm going to use the chrome deep dish wheels, and it's going to look great. I know it may not be what should be on this casting, and frankly, I don't care. You know, when I restored my first ever Redline Hot Wheel, it was a total disaster. And I'll tell you why. I did this way before any of these products or companies existed. Bright Vision wasn't there. There were no reproduction wheels. There were no reproduction parts. There was no glass available. There wasn't any Spectra Flame paint. I was using Testors clear paints and polishing the cars the best I could and just finding the best wheels I could come up with. And the cars looked like crap. And, you know, frankly, I just gave up. It wasn't there yet. And I guess I missed an opportunity to be a founder of this hobby because I gave up and walked away. And when I came back, some of this stuff was starting to develop, but my skills weren't there. So I walked away again. And when I came back, everything was in place for me to be successful. So it's a good time to be restoring diecast cars if that's something that you like and want to do. Don't hesitate to jump in there because the knowledge is out there, the parts are out there, the tools that you need are out there. All you got to do is have the desire. So after the paint dried, I went ahead and applied some Bright Vision clear coat, let that dry, and now it is time to put this car back together. So I mated the interior and the glass together, and I'm dropping them in as one piece. And then I can go ahead and take the base fitted with the brand new wheels and pop that on. And then we can just screw it together, and it's going to look fabulous. So all this car needs now is to be cleaned up, and then a little bit of detail painting for a taillight in the rear, and I can call this casting done. Alrighty, folks, there it is, my Turbofire. And I have to say that this is one of my better, true-to-life Spectra Flame paint jobs. This is what a Hot Wheel looked like back in the day. Now, Are there some little flaws and anomalies down in the paint? Yes, there is in the casting itself, but that's how it came out of the factory. They weren't perfect, okay? They were mass producing these things as fast as they could. It's bright, it's shiny, it's sparkly, it's got a fabulous, true-to-life, Spectraflame-looking color on it. The car came out great, and I'm super happy with it. I hope you loved it too. If you did, and if you loved the video, please give this a thumbs up, click subscribe, and don't forget to just do a dance all over the notification bell so you never miss one of my videos. As always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I love to hear from you. It makes my day. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Until next time, this is Paul from Fat Guy Productions saying, be good.